Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get it. So welcome everyone to another episode with We Got Next. I am one of your hosts, Christian Hayes, and then we got Steven Springer along with me for the ride. So we appreciate you always just being along for everything. So shout out to everyone that's been following and subscribing and liking and doing everything. One of our videos, we all saw you got us to 700 views. Steven's quick slants are starting to get a lot more love, so we appreciate that as well. I was talking to Steven just probably a couple of days ago, and I told him that a lot of people are going to realize as Penn State continues to win, his videos are going to start getting a lot more hype. So I recommend that you guys start watching now, because I can promise you I'm going to slip in some different giveaways along the way with it. And we're going to slip in some giveaways on here. But since we're starting to get a lot more love on our different channels, we will just only make it YouTube specific or a Spotify specific giveaways that we do. So make sure to end up listening in, because that's your biggest way to end up winning. We're going to have Tyler from Safe Haven back on the show soon, so I'm trying to confirm that. And there are huge giveaways along the way with that. When I was talking to Tyler, and we said that we probably might end up doing, I might give away like $1,000 or something. So make sure you guys end up listening, tuning in, and everything for that nature. Something else I want to end up bringing up to you all, because I know some people have been concerned along the way with the cryptocurrency market. And I just want to end up saying, for starters, there's no reason to be concerned right now. So if everyone can see this, we're on CoinMarketCap today. So first person you see is Kevin O'Leary. So shout out Kevin O'Leary for always end up supporting cryptocurrency. Now, he wasn't always that way before. Before diving into this, and before you guys get to see any information, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Make sure you end up tapping that notification bell. Make sure you end up continuing to view things on the YouTube channel, on our We Got Next, and then also listening in on Spotify or wherever else you want to end up listening into everything at. Tune in as well. Steven will touch on this in a little bit, but tune in as well to the quick slants, because they're starting to be a lot more relatable, and you're starting to end up hearing more things that Steven talked about before the show. This college football even began. You're starting to hear it now. It's something that I can relate to and hear now too. So I'll let him dive into that in a second. But going into Bitcoin currently, and this is as of September 14th, 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, Bitcoin is at 47,000, which is very big because it did pull back when the news came out and it became official that El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender there. You saw Wendy's, you saw McDonald's, you saw Starbucks all accepting Bitcoin in El Salvador. So that's a huge thing that I need everyone to understand and listen, because it's in El Salvador. They're starting with the Lightning Network, but they will continue to move into other places to do this. It's kind of like a guinea pig trial that they're doing here. The next thing is Ethereum is at 3,400. So it did pull back, but a huge reason why Ethereum continues to move. Shout out to OpenSea and Rarible and everyone that is taking care of NFTs. So NFTs is huge there. Cardano is starting to do some things on theirs. They're at 238. Binance Coin continues to move up. Something that a lot of people do ask me about is which blockchain do I like to use? My biggest one that I will always love is Cosmos with the ticker Atom. That's always just been a big one. Band is on that one, Band Protocol, but Solana's been doing a lot of work. And I like to buy a lot of coins off of PancakeSwap with their ticker Cake, but Binance, the BSC chain is big. They have cheaper fees than Ethereum. Once Ethereum can move to staking, and then a lot of these layer twos that are helping out, the cost of the gas fees should go down. You notice that Ethereum, USD Tether is at number 5. So it's starting to pull back some. Then Ripple is still up there. If everyone remembers in 2017, 2018, Ripple had a huge run up, but they're still within the top 10. Solana's there, Polkadot's there. So congratulations to all the dot holders. Dogecoin is still there, but keep a lookout for Shiba Inu and then Floki if you're in the meme coin space, and then USDC. So you see 2 stable coins that are up there, which is always very important. Uniswap is there, but you will start to see other swap exchanges that do become available and come up. One, for example, is Hathor Network, so pay attention to them, but also pay attention to Unison. So the video that we do have a review on is Unison, ZCX, but pay attention to them. And my sleeper pick for the rest of the year is Aleph Zero. So their ticker will be AZERO. So I just want to end up bringing those up. But that's all for the cryptocurrency side with CoinMarketCap. And I'll do a quick fast break for everybody. So Steven hasn't even seen this one. So it'll be something big or interesting, not necessarily big, but so this is in Florida. So the house was $85 million that it sold for, and then a couple of investors did it, and now they're relisting it already for $120 million. So, Steven, what are your thoughts?
Dang,
it's
bro.
Technically an island, yeah.
Dang, bro. Like, it's crazy because, like, I feel good about the house I live in. You know, I feel good about my living situation with what I can provide for my family. And I see videos like this, or you see other videos like on HGTV or just like on Twitter or whatever. And it's just like, damn, like I ain't shit compared to what these people can get.
Dog. Like
how do you just have that kind of money laying around?
You have a bridge that takes you to your house.
That doesn't even make sense. Also, the house is dope, but it's not my style.
Yeah, it's the outside is not kind of how I would want my house to be.
No.
I think the pool is cool, but the house and the design isn't.
It looks like they took the house from like the middle of Georgia.
Yeah, just threw it in there.
put it down in like South Beach.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
And also, how do you build that? How do you build that? Like that, what is that? Is that plot of land you just plopped in the water, some canal?
Yeah, so that Justin, the first person who ever built that, I know it probably was a pretty penny whenever it was built. Then you had to bring the trees and everything on there. So I have no idea how you do that, because I know that's definitely clearly man-made. It wasn't just randomly there. Especially if like you have a bridge, and the way it's cut out too. So that does look like someone designed it.
You know what I hate? I hate how everyone has tennis courts.
Yeah, like everyone did. That looks like a tennis court in the back.
I would, yeah. That's why I said that. Like, I would most definitely have a basketball court, or I would have anything other than a tennis court. I mean, for sure, a basketball court. But I'd put like a little 50-yard football field in there. Maybe you can definitely fit that in there.
You can do a lot.
But tennis, maybe like a little chipping green, a little putting green. You know, maybe like a par 3. I don't know. But tennis courts, so cliche. I'm also talking like I have $20 million to spend on this. I don't have shit.
So shout out Joe Pompliano for putting that. A lot of the Pompliano brothers do provide a lot of information on Twitter, but that's the fast break that we did there. So Steven, talk about quick slants.
Yeah, Penn State got the W on Saturday against Ball State, 44-13. If those of you who listened to the quick slants last week, you saw my prediction was going to be 45-9. That was close.
That's close.
Penn State gave up a garbage time touchdown in the fourth quarter. They look good. They got off to a really hot start, scoring on both their opening drives, just right down the field against Ball State, and they did what they had to do. Penn State moved up one spot and the AP top 25 to 10. We got Auburn this weekend. It's a whiteout. It's the first whiteout in 2 years. Obviously, we missed last year. You've been to the whiteouts with me. You've been to I think 2 of them so far. You've been to actually I think you've been to 3. You've been to Michigan 2017, Ohio State 2018. I think Michigan again 2019.
Rutgers wasn't a whiteout, was it? No,
bro. That was a cold ass noon game. Yeah. That was your first game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took you to a noon. I took you to a cold ass noon game against Rutgers in like the end of November. That's how I felt about you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, don't worry. It's not always like this. Like, come back again. That's what everyone was saying.
Yeah. And it wasn't. The next time you came back, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
So, yeah, we got Auburn on Saturday. It's going to be – I'm going up. It's going to be rocking. But I'll recap the Ball State game. I'm going to do a top 5 whiteouts that I've ever been to. There's been a lot of them. So I'll do a top 5 countdown. I'll recap James Franklin's press conference from today, talk about the Auburn game coming up, obviously what Penn State's got to do to get the W. Standard stuff as always. Make sure you guys tune in Thursday night. We'll let it go at 8:00. Check it out on Spotify. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your boys, tell your neighbor Frank. I'll put it out there, and yeah, we'll get it going again.
Shout out Frank.
Shout out.
I'll cover the.
By the way,
10.
I don't have a neighbor, Frank. I just like to use that.
No, Steven always uses it. So Mark, yeah, we'll use the example of Frank. All right, let's just rock with Frank for every interview.
I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty standard white neighbor name, Frank.
Bill.
Bill. Yeah, we all got a Frank.
Yeah.
We all got a Frank. Yeah.
So covering the top 10 in the AP polls. So we have Bama, of course, that's still there. Georgia, number 2, Oklahoma 3, the Ducks at 4, Oregon for everyone out there. 5, Iowa, 6, we have Clemson, 7, Texas A&M, 8, Cincinnati, 9, Ohio State, 10, Penn State. But before I ask you for your thoughts on that, what happened at USC?
Yeah, so USC head coach Clay Helton is out after 2 games. They got blown out by Stanford. I catch those West Coast games, those late games, and they got pretty destroyed. So he's out. I think he was there 5 or 6 seasons, and he's gone. And of course, every year that there's a big time program with the coaching vacancy, James Franklin, Penn State's head coach, his name pops up every year. I'll tackle this as well during the quick slants. I don't think he's going anywhere. I'll give you the reasons why. You and I talked about it before I came on here. I'll talk about it during the quick slants, what I think about that. So we'll cover that. But shout out to the Oregon Ducks.
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout out to them going into the horseshoe without Kayvon Thibodeau, without Justin Flo. Both of their top 2 defenders were out, and Ohio State was a 14.5-point favorite. And Oregon, I think, had lost their last. I think they had lost like their last 6 or 7 to Ohio State. So that was a noon game coming from Oregon all the way to Ohio.
That's different, yeah.
Doing that. So I feel like that's something that's not talked about much. Like coming from different time zones, we all know the NFL, it's always a big deal when like the Seahawks or Chargers or whoever have to come over to like Buffalo or something like that. So I give a ton of credit to Oregon. They jumped up 8 spots. So big shout out to them. Big shout out. Just it's an awesome weekend when Penn State wins. It's an awesome weekend when the Penn State wins. It's an awesome weekend when the Steelers win. But it's even better when Ohio State loses.
I know.
Now, it's even better when Ohio State loses to Penn State, but Ohio State losing in general, since it doesn't happen much, it's awesome. So big shout out to Oregon and Mario Cristobal.
It feels different this year, in the past couple of years since like Harbaugh's been there, because it's really only the focus is Ohio State. Michigan like just continues to fall off ever since Harbaugh said. Yeah,
Michigan's poop. Harbaugh's poop. Like they've had their chances, and Penn State has more Big Ten titles recently than Michigan does. So I can talk some shit, but Penn State has had their chances too and have blown it. But Michigan's had a ton of chances, and Harbaugh, I don't know how many more chances he's going to get.
He's on his last legs.
I said this about Penn State. If they're going to beat Ohio State, it's going to be this year because of the quarterback situation. CJ Stroud is good, but he's not what they've had. Their defense, Ohio State's defense, is poop. So, Oregon exploited that with a run game. So I think if teams are going to beat Ohio State, that they're going to get them, it's going to be this year. I say that now, but obviously you got to play the game for it to matter what I say. But yeah, Michigan's poop. Like I have no faith in Harbaugh whatsoever.
Yeah. None. So what are your thoughts overall on the top 10?
But he's not getting fired anytime soon, though.
Who?
No. Harbaugh.
I don't think anytime soon because of that name as well. And then what he can bring.
Yeah, and he's a Michigan man.
Yeah.
Like that's all they care about is having a Michigan man. And if he beats Ohio State this year, he's gonna get a lifetime contract, which is a shame, but that's what happens. But top 10, Oregon, I knew they would move up, but I didn't think they'd move up that much. I was more surprised about that than I was Ohio State falling from 3 to 9. Iowa with a big win over Iowa State, they move up. Cincinnati, they're that lone group of 5 team. Yeah, that lone group of 5 team that's still up there, and they have a tough stretch coming up. They have Indiana this weekend. I don't like Indiana because of what they did to Penn State last year and how they beat us, but I'm pulling for the Hoosiers because Cincinnati is ahead of Penn State. So, Penn State's got to take care of business for, a loss from Cincinnati to matter. But big shout out to the Bearcats. Big shout out to Luke Fickell. It's still early in the season. I think you're going to see Alabama and Georgia there at the end. Clemson will crawl back up because the ACC sucks. Oklahoma, it's a very interesting top 10, but there's no real surprises at the top.
So I'm going to talk about number 2 because I saw them play. I was at a restaurant eating and I was like, damn.
What restaurant was it?
I don't know. It was in Herndon. So I was at some Vietnamese place.
Okay.
Or something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Georgia deleted UAB off the map. And I feel so bad because UAB for a little bit, they didn't have a football team because of everything there. And then they came back. I'm like, damn, if I was a football player on that team, I'd be like, all right, just like, let me leave. Can we just like end the game? I mean, they did score at the end and they were hyped about scoring, which was a big thing for them. But for them to lose that bad, or for Georgia just to continue, and they have to do it for style points. I get that side, but like, damn, they deleted them as a team.
So yeah, they did. They were favored by, I think, like 52 points. Georgia was. I think Clemson was favored. I forget who they played. They just put it on. Oh yeah, South Carolina State. They were favored by, I think, like 54 or something like that. Clemson was. But you got to remember that Georgia probably paid UAB a couple $1 million to come get their asses kicked.
They really did.
Like they were like, UAB's like, and like UAB needs the coin. Like they needed to get things going again. And they were like, I mean, the players, what do you even do during practice like that week? Like, you're not going to win. You're going to get your asses kicked. What do you do during practice that week? Like, how do you like you tell your boys like, oh yeah, we got Georgia this weekend. Oh yeah. Like what's the strategy?
Yeah. And they got a running back factory down there in Georgia. So you're not really stopping them.
No. So they were just in it for the money. I mean, more power to them. They got their ass kicked, but they probably got a couple $1 million anyway. So
they really did.
Good for them. So
going over into the crypto side really fast, and we'll touch back on the NFL side because there's a hell of a lot that we will talk about in the NFL. But I want to start by saying congratulations to Cyrus Foundation. So it's one of my top points that I always talk about on Twitter. But Cyrus Foundation partnered with the company, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but Devois, and they're helping them to deploy their devices on existing users. So Cyrus is doing a lot in like the data and helping people to end up monetizing their data. So congratulations to them. Trava Finance is finally going to open up their lending, which will allow for lending, borrowing, and withdrawing. So that's a very big thing for people to end up lending their cryptocurrencies, and then they'll end up receiving a lot of yield off of that. Another thing is Artifact NFT collection is coming out really soon. They're kind of doing a lot similar to Ready Player One. For everyone out there that knows what Ready Player One is, how like you can have your own avatar and stuff in the metaverse world. So Artifact is doing a lot there. They have a lot of athletes and celebrities that are very interested in it. And currently right now, if you have one of their mint passes, they call it, if you have one of their current NFTs that are out, you can end up being awarded a chance to end up winning one of their avatars that they have that'll be coming out soon. It's called Akira. And currently the lowest price for any of their NFTs that you want to hold in order to get an Akira is $28,000. So if you so shout out Crypto Daddy and Alt on Twitter for always talking about the meta pigeons out there. It's wild, Steven. So there's these meta pigeons, kind of like robotic NFTs. And so the starting price is less than probably $3,000. Currently, the cost of one of the meta pigeons is over $29,000.
Are you saying meta pigeon?
Meta pigeons. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to, just go on OpenSea and then type in artifacts and Jeff Staples, and you can end up finding the meta pigeons that are there. They have shoes out there. They've also sold some shoes Artifacts has on StockX. So that was another big thing for them. Something else I want to talk about is what Fidelity said. So Fidelity Research said that 84% of institutional investors in the US and in Europe are interested in getting into cryptocurrency. So that's a big thing moving forward, just seeing the amount of people that are going to end up getting into cryptocurrency. Another thing is shout out to Zimbabwe. So I told you all before that the Latin American countries and the African nations are going to start getting into cryptocurrency because this is their way of helping to close the wealth gap between a lot of the G7 nations, G6 nations, and then more so your third world and second world countries that don't necessarily have as much. You saw El Salvador do it, you saw Panama end up proposing bringing a bill to the floor. Cuba and Ukraine are also doing things approving of Bitcoin in their country. So Zimbabwe's minister is looking into Bitcoin, and got to give it up to the king himself, Michael Saylor. So Michael Saylor bought more Bitcoin. He bought over 5,000 Bitcoins for his company MicroStrategy. And now MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor currently hold over 114,000 Bitcoin. So if anyone out there, that's over $2 to $3 billion that they have in Bitcoin. So wild shit on that one. Something else I want to just bring up is shout out to the Floki holders. So everyone out there knows about Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I don't talk a lot about meme coins on the show because with my business and company, I don't necessarily want people invested in the meme coins, but this is something that is big. And I know some of the people out there that have been the devs behind the team of Floki, but Elon Musk just got a Shiba Inu. So that's why Shiba Inu, the meme coin, went up. But now Elon Musk named his Shiba Inu Floki. So Floki started going up more now. And it's all the power of what Elon Musk can do. And it's crazy. We all saw what happened when he was talking about Dogecoin, then when he talked about Floki, then when he talked about Shiba Inu, even when he talks about Bitcoin in a negative way, the market will go down. So we've talked about some of when we had the guests on the show, they brought it up as well, just the power right now, how easy Elon Musk can manipulate the market. So I wanted to bring that up. The other thing is in terms of manipulation of the market, is what happened with Walmart. So a lot of people started spreading rumors saying that Walmart is accepting Litecoin. And it was something that had Walmart's stock price go up and then Litecoin went up a little bit. Turns out it was not true, but it's very promising to see that there are a lot of people out there that are excited for a lot of these big name companies to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I will tell you that Walmart is definitely looking at it behind the scenes. Not going to say how, who, what, or why. I know this information, but you see what Amazon is doing, supposedly looking into it, and you have other big name companies doing it. They're all doing their research on it, but they can't just come out tomorrow and say, hey, Steven, I'm just coming out with it with my $1 trillion company. They have to do a lot of research in order to make sure they're making the correct decision, and they have to have a lot of things in place, talk to their boards, talk to their financial people on that aspect. Last thing,
shout out to Walmart though.
Yeah, shout out to Walmart.
Shout out. There's a Walmart in State College that they have a Subway and an Auntie Anne's, like in the same little like food place. So of course your boy will go get a nice footlong and then slide on down, get myself a nice Auntie Anne's pretzel. I'm good, bro. I'm good for the day. I'm good. That's good. That's a day.
So Steven wanted to bring up State College, and I was going to wait till he did it on another episode, but because this is relevant to cryptocurrency, so shout out to Sheets, because that is the one place Steven and I will always go to regardless. And it'll be like the same. It doesn't matter which Sheets we go to. Half the time, I will be the one inebriated in some way, and I think they're all the same, but he's taken us to various different Sheets. It might be one on the other side. But so shout out to Sheets on that one. The other thing I want to do is end up bringing up, we talk about the We Got Next channel a lot, but shout out to the Shift Movement Digital Twitter. So we do a lot of threads over there, and we come up with a lot of information. And we started to end up seeing growth over there. All four of our channels, me and Steven have our own personal ones. So we have the We Got Next and the Shift Movement Digital, all give various different content. We Got Next channel focuses more on the sports aspect. And then also we'll promote some of the cryptocurrency, but then the Shift Movement Digital will give you the threads and in-depth information there too. Then you can end up seeing Steven's, where he's one of the few people that Rex Chapman does follow. Yes, I did see that happened. And then also,
your boy. Your boy. Bro, I've tweeted at him so many times since that. First of all, the backstory is, for those who don't know, I have, if you go to my Twitter feed, it's at Steven_Springs. I have a pinned tweet that has over 2 million views. It's great. Yeah, it has over 2 million views. And it's just like a very
Wild
simple video,
flex.
but it's pretty simple. It has over 2.1 million views, 309 comments or mentions, whatever, over 7,500 retweets, and over 39,000 likes. And I got one follower out of that entire thing.
I know.
I swear to God, I got one follower out of that, and it was Rex Chapman. And I've tweeted, yeah, bro. How does that that seems mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
I had all those impressions, all those mentions, all those retweets, quote retweets, likes, everything. I got one follower, and it was Rex Chapman. And I've tweeted to him multiple times afterwards. You know, he does like the whole blocker charge thing. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And I've gotten no responses. I don't know how I got no love for that tweet other than just people liking it and commenting on it. But shout out to your boy.
Yeah, shout out. So other thing I want to go into is, because we were just talking somewhat about sports, US Open just released their NFT collection. So you'll start to see a lot of various different sports organizations get involved in it. I can promise you they're not going to be the last. US Open will do it. So, you know, that means the Masters are not too far behind, because when money talks, people end up having conversations about that. So don't be surprised with that. Moving into that, I want to just touch a little bit on the Met Gala. This is not something that I have a lot of experience or knowledge or understanding on, but I do want to end up saying the way Kanye and Kim just decided to come was just different. Like, so Kanye and Kim, I'll leave them to be Kanye and Kim. Tessa Thompson looked very beautiful on the whatever carpet you want to call it. Nia Dennis, she came in a very interesting outfit. She was doing like some sort of flip they caught her in the middle of. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna decided to show up late to the Met Gala because they can do whatever they want to do. Found out the tickets are $35,000, and I'm like, sheesh. Then for a table, it's like $200,000 to end up promoting stuff.
Golly, dude, what the I didn't see. Is it on TV? Was it like?
I don't really. I think it's a closed type of thing.
I mean, obviously, you see all the pictures on Twitter, and that's how everyone keeps up with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Like I saw all the outfits.
TV anymore, just Twitter.
Right. You just see Twitter, Instagram, and occasionally Facebook, but Facebook is very hit or miss. But I just saw on Twitter, and like I don't understand what it's about. I know it raises money, correct?
Yeah.
But like it's just a fashion thing, right?
Yeah, so it's a huge fashion thing.
Bro, and like, look, I know all these people don't give two shits about anything about it because they're just wearing whatever, and they're just showing up. They're just showing up for the PR, which is like fine. Like I would probably do the same thing, but like some of the things that I saw people wearing, and you have to I feel like you also have to understand the background of said person. Like, yes, like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, yes. Like he was great to go there.
We all know, or those of us who follow the NBA and those of us who follow the fashion statements that the NBA players are making, he's one of those guys. Whether you love it or hate it, it's just that's Russ. He also doesn't give an F. So like he's gonna do it. But Steph Curry showed up, right? Steph and Aisha were there. First name basis. So me and the Currys. So Steph and Aisha were there. They looked pretty normal.
Yeah.
Like now they were still dazzled up, but Steph was wearing some like low key, still dope outfit, like or suit, whatever. But he wasn't looking like Russ. You know,
he's not a loud person.
The hair, either. No, he's not. No.
Yeah.
But like Russ is a loud person. So
yes.
I mean, dude, but some of the things that some of these people were wearing were just like, I don't even know how you come up with that shit.
Dog, I saw A$AP Rocky. He looked like Skittles for a second. I just
didn't he like toss it off and it was just like a normal tux underneath it? Like, what's the point of that, bro? Like that looked like it was on my grandma's couch.
See, and what's crazy about that is, you know, top-notch designers are designing it just for those 2-3 seconds for them to put it on. So A$AP's like, all right, whatever.
Well, it's also the Met Gala is also a great source of memes.
Yeah, like, some of the most famous ones.
Like unbelievable memes have come from there. So Yeah, shout out to those people who rock it, man. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta have some cojones to rock all that kind of good stuff. It's for a half a second. And I don't know what they do when they get in there, but like, if you can rock it, you might as well rock it, right?
Yeah. So if anyone out there has connections to the Met Gala, I will absolutely go, and we'll end
Bro,
up trying to figure out.
I will wear a trash bag full of trash on my head. I don't care. I will wear.
You get me in there,
bro. I will throw on my kids. I will throw on Mason's diaper pail on my head
to get in there.
If you're giving, hey, go to the Met Gala, you gotta wear this diaper pail. Cool, sign me up, bro.
And you have to get invited. So I found that out today. I have a secret source that knows all this information. But yeah, you have to get invited. Yeah. She was talking to my ear.
Sources say.
Yeah. So, but you get invited. So it's a big thing with like one of the people with the Vogue that she puts this on, and then you get invited. Then you have to pay $35,000. So that's wild.
So you get invited, but you still gotta pay 35 grand. But then you gotta pay 200 grand for a table.
So the table is to promote businesses and stuff. So I don't think you have to get a table per se. I could be wrong. Anyone out there, you can correct me. But I saw this one Black guy. He paid $200,000 for the table to promote Black designers, which I was like, damn, that you must have money. The first thing I thought is you must have money to do that. And wow, you are very good because you must have a lot of money. Because if I had 200,000, I don't know. I would want to help people.
You must have the money to do so, and you must not care that you have that kind of money to do so.
Yeah, he at least has $1 million. Let's just put it that way. And other thing I want to say is super quick. So AOC, for everyone out there, politician who's kind of reality celebrity person now, she went there and she wore a dress that says tax the rich. And the funniest part about, I know we're talking a lot about the Met Gala now, and she had a dress that said tax the rich. And a lot of people were confused. So it was mixed emotions. If you supported AOC and like love her to death, you're like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. You're a middle class or lower income. You're like, wow, that's smart. But then I started thinking more. First off, she's saying tax the rich. And I found out she makes over $170,000 a year. But in order to go to the Met Gala, you have to be rich. So a lot of people are saying, so you're saying tax the rich after this event so you can go party with them now?
Yep.
And then that's what you can do. So
shout out AOC though, bro. Like,
I know, right? Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Shout out AOC. But next thing I want to end up getting into, because that's all the crypto stuff. For now, we are gonna talk about last week and this week in the NFL. So Steven and I, as you all might recall, we end up doing our different picks and stuff last week, which we didn't do bad. I'm pretty sure we both finished over. Well, so I finished at 500. Steven, I was 8-16. Steven was 7-16 for the week. It was the first week, so I don't really put too much behind it because there was so much unknown. Steven, just going off of things. So a decent amount of our picks, we did kind of agree on. So we both got it more than likely wrong. Like the Ravens, we both chose the Ravens. That was something that I was not expecting to have happen.
Shout out to Carl Nassib.
Yo, shout out to Carl Nassib and shout out Max Crosby. My man's was doing things out there. But yeah, so one of my friends, he lives out in San Diego. He likes the Raiders. Yeah, liked them back when they were the Oakland Raiders and everything like that. And so it's earlier there in California. So we were up talking about the game. One, I was not expecting the way that game went because I was like, all right, you know what? First off, the Raiders should have won before anything else. Like, second off, the Ravens should have won in the regular 4 quarters. Then it went to overtime, and then Edwards was just short. Then they had the false start, basically damn near at the goal line, moved it back. So I was like, all right, if they don't make this or at least kick a field goal, Ravens going to win. Then the Ravens, that was weird how they got the interception. Don't get me started, Willie Snead. But then the Ravens end up taking over. I was like, oh, this is a wrap. It's Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson fumbles. And then the Raiders get it back. John Gruden said, I'm done with this game. Hell with this. We kicking a field goal. And we out.
So I fell asleep. Like I went to sleep, relatively early in that game. I think it was like mid second half.
Mm-hmm.
I hate doing that. I hate myself the next day when I wake up.
Yes.
Because I always know that something is about to happen. I do it for the NFL. I do it for the NBA. Whenever there's a late game on, a West Coast game, I always do that. And I always fall asleep. I always know I'm going to wake up and there's going to be notifications, or I'm going to start scrolling on Twitter and it's going to be the craziest ending, the craziest game. And it was. And yes. I was mad at myself. I mean, you know, I got to get up early anyways. So like, why not just stay up an extra hour and I'll be up? But I do it all the time and I hate myself for it the next day. But yeah, that was a crazy game. That was, that's weird. Like, I mean, it was a week 1 game, you know. Did you watch any of the Peyton and Eli thing?
No, so I was just watching the regular one. How was it on Peyton and Eli?
So I can see why people hated it. Because obviously they were talking the whole time, but like, and you know, I know obviously the commentators for like the actual game do that. They talk the whole time, but this was more geared towards people like us.
Yeah.
And people who understand the X's and O's more, people who understand terminology, people who like Peyton and Eli. I loved it. I thought it was dope. I hope they can do it. I hope they do it more. Because they weren't talking about like a 2-yard run. They would, you know, if Derek Carr dropped back and found Darren Waller for like a 10-yard in route, which he found him for 10-yard in routes all night.
19 targets.
That's wild. That's a lot. That man's just been cooking over the last handful of games going back to last season. But they would like break down you know, what they did pre-snap, what the defense was doing, what the defense was showing, but they would do it like real time. Obviously, they're 2 former quarterbacks. One of them is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. One of them is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP and everything. So it was really good if you like that kind of stuff, if you like to dive into the X's and O's and like the breakdown of everything. And it was consistent and it was just like really good content. They brought on Travis Kelce, they brought on Ray Lewis, they brought on
shout out Kelce.
Travis Kelce was on one. They brought on if you missed that, that's a good one. You should go on Twitter and look up Travis Kelce, what he said last night. He didn't know what the hell was going on. It seems like he doesn't know what the hell's going on anytime. So they brought on Charles Barkley. They brought on a bunch of people. I think they had Russell Wilson on. I missed that one, but it was good. It was good content. I hope they do it again. You know, they have it on ESPN2, I think, and then they have the regular broadcast on ESPN, obviously. So I hope they do it again. I thought it was really good. Less guest and more just Peyton and Eli. But they were involved too. Peyton more so, he's more animated than Eli is, but yeah, it was really good. I would definitely watch it again if they did it again.
Something love or hate him. Tony Romo's another one that they can just analyze the game. Someone else that has two that'll have a good career in like the broadcast business. Greg Olson. So I was listening to him. I think it was the Eagles-Falcons game, but they know how to analyze their position, but also a defense so well. They might not have done the greatest, like, all right, Tony Romo wasn't the best. He had like his butt fumble and stuff. And then Greg Olson didn't necessarily get a championship, but they can analyze sports so well. Like you knew every single time what was going to happen, like on third down, or even I was listening to the regular ESPN one. They knew whenever it was about to go to Hunter Renfrow, like easily. They said, "Oh, this is third down, third and Renfrow," and stuff like that.
I mean, that's what they do. You know, I mean, obviously, like it makes sense that those guys are really smart with football, but like, and you said love it or hate it, like Tony Romo is one of those guys where some people hate that he calls out the play before it even happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's not like that's not for the casual fan. And I know that there's tens of millions of people watching the NFL throughout the weekend, but like I think it's fascinating that obviously he was a quarterback. So like that was his job. That's what he was paid to do, was pre-snap and know, okay, I'm going to have this matchup. I'm going to have this over here. It's 3rd and 7. I'm going to have this guy in the slot. I'm going to have Jason Witten over here, whatever. Like that's what he was paid to do. And that's what he's paid to do now, is be an analyst. So he's analyzing the game. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's just doing it better than everybody else. The people who hate it are the people who are mad sitting on their couch thinking they
Yeah.
know what's coming, but they're dead wrong.
They don't.
And Tony Romo
knows
shows
exactly
them up
what's
because
gonna happen.
yeah. So like, yeah, dude, you're sitting on the couch. My neighbor Frank's sitting on the couch
Yep.
watching the game. Frank's not in the booth with Jim Nance. It's Tony
Exactly.
Romo because Romo knows what the hell is going to happen on every single snap, bro. Every single
time
snap.
He doesn't get it wrong, really.
No.
It might be a super rare one, and that's on like some random flea flicker or a fake punt. But most of the time, he knows what's going to happen and will design it out for you.
Yeah, and Romo just loves doing it too. Like he loves, like him and Jim Nance have a great thing.
Yeah.
You know, like as I've gotten older and as I've dealt with these people, listening to them every single week, guys like Chris Collinsworth, I don't mind him anymore.
No,
like
no.
I mean, he might say some dumb shit sometimes, but like they all do. You know, like they all say some like old head shit or just like things I don't need you to say. But it's also funny that he's him and Al Michaels have like taken up like the whole slide in thing when they
they have just taken it up.
Bro, I swear to God, I think it was 2 seasons ago. My wife Brooke would come and watch literally just that 10 seconds of Al Michaels talking and then he'd be like, okay, slide on in here, partner. She would watch that and go to sleep. Yeah. Like she would not watch the game. She would just watch that and go away. That's all she wanted to see because she loved it so much. But they embrace that and it's funny.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that's it. Those type of things. You started to realize, even I saw it yesterday, Collinsworth, he legit slid in and he starts to smile with it now.
Yeah, he knows it too.
Like, all right,
he knows.
good.
Like,
yep.
He's like, yeah, he knows it. But like those guys are like, they're corny sometimes. Like they're just like the old head commentators. But like, I kind of like him these days. I don't know if that makes me a corny old head now, but
I noticed as we've gotten older, we start to have a different appreciation for things with sports and stuff because I love hearing Tony Romo. I like the analysis of it because then you start to hear it from people when you go to the football stadiums who can analyze and see it. And then it makes you like, all right, damn, I need to step mine up so I can kind of see what's going on because that's really what coaches do. Like coaches are just have that other level IQ to be able to analyze and play chess better than everyone else, where most people are just playing checkers with it. You got to be able to play chess and stuff to understand what's going to come and think 2-3 plays down the line and make sure you know what you're doing.
And that's how like I don't know how you came into. We're kind of going on a tangent here, but like I don't know how you started to understand the game of football, like when you started to get into the X's and O's. But like, I mean, you've been around my family when you know at tailgates and everything, and like that's just how I started getting into it. Was just like listening to my dad, my uncles talk about it, and then just like watching the games with them, watching the Penn State games with them, and them like saying, "Oh, Penn State should do this on 3rd and 10," or like whatever. And then as I got older, obviously I started paying attention to more. I started listening to like the commentators more. You talk to people like Jordan, like just people who play the game, who know the game, obviously. Just like, and you just like, it's cool. Like when, you can talk to them about it. Like just Jordan, for example, like you talk to Jordan about it and they like agree with what you're saying. And you're like, yeah, like,
yeah, you know what you're talking about.
Like I should have been in the league, not you. Like I should have been the guy in the league, not you. I should have been the coach. No, but it's like, it's cool just to like, and I've noticed like I've taught my wife a whole lot of things about football too. It's just like sitting there watching like, and like she's picking up on terminology like over the years and like shit like that. Like, and I'm hoping to do that with the kids too, but that's a different story. But
I gotta get there because Sierra still be like, oh, so that's that Mahomes person, right? I'm like, yes, it's from the commercial. And she thinks the Chiefs defense is like really good. So I was like, God damn, the Browns, like, come on. Because I couldn't disagree. Because I was like, yeah, I mean, the Chiefs were looking good at the end, but that's because they were trying to protect to make sure Patrick Mahomes got the last say in the game. But so, yeah, it's crazy like seeing those different types of games. And then she got to see Kyle Pitts for a little bit. So just kind of seeing him lined up compared to cornerback. So you got to explain that that's not really a wide receiver. That's a tight end that's playing like on the outside and stuff. But
strategy.
Yeah.
Understanding all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I did want to bring up the Chiefs Browns for a second. So what are your thoughts, because you can see highlights or anything, of Patrick Mahomes' comeback, but then also how the Browns kind of crumbled toward the end?
I think that just goes to, I think it just speaks to how elite the Chiefs are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you watched the Peyton and Eli thing last night, Travis Kelce was on there and he was saying like sometimes he'll just go in the huddle and give Mahomes a look. He's like, all right, well, I'm just about to make some shit up.
That's what
And like when you got the best tight end in the league, like by far, like Darren Waller's dope, George Kittle's dope. Yeah, there's a bunch of good tight ends, but like I think he's far and away the best tight end in the league. Yeah. You got guys like Tyreek Hill who's the fastest player in the league.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And like, he's not big, but like he doesn't have to be. He'll just a slant route turns into a touchdown real quick. So when you have Mahomes, who is, arguably like one of the best angle thrower. I don't know how you want to describe it.
He threw it across his body to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and like he just has a cannon. So it's just like you can't the Bucks defended it. So like I was gonna say you can't defend it, but the Bucks clearly did. But like that's one of those things like you just don't know what to prepare for really until you get that far along in the season. You have 16 games worth of game film, but like you just gotta keep your head on a swivel if you're the Browns on that one. And the Chiefs defense finally came around for a little bit. They finally came alive. So, but I think it just goes to show how elite the Chiefs offense can be and how quickly they can. If you sleep for a second, they're gonna be up there, right? Yeah, they're gonna be right there with you.
Yeah. So I'll touch on a couple of things and we'll get into the picks for this week. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Darren Waller, the Ballers targets, wild tab, 19 targets in a game. First off, and I was talking to people about it. It shows you the absence of Marcus Peters so much in that defense. Yep. More so, yeah, they had Earl Thomas at one point, then Eric Weddle as well. But Marcus Peters' absence was huge. Like, yes, because Marcus Peters sometimes probably would have found a way to be on Waller in clutch situation, or even Renfro. He might not have been as big as Waller, but he damn sure would have put a body on him or tried to in that situation.
And that's like 4, maybe 5 catches that he doesn't get.
Yes.
Or 4 or 5 targets that he doesn't get, which might result in. And now this is when your brain starts to take over and you start to think about the X's and O's and strategy and everything, and you dive deep into it. But like it takes away 4 or 5 targets, maybe that takes away 30, 40, 50 yards, maybe.
Man's had over 100 yards.
Yeah, and the offense has to switch up their game plan because of that. And obviously teams are going to exploit the Ravens defense for the rest of the season because they're like, okay, we just got game 1. Darren Waller had 19 targets. So like if you have a receiver, if you have multiple receivers, if you have multiple receivers and a tight end, I think the Ravens play the Chiefs this weekend.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, dude, Mahomes could have a game.
A field day, and it's Sunday night.
Yeah, and Kelce could have a huge game, and Tyreek Hill could have a good game. The whole you and I could go line up right now probably for the Chiefs
really could,
and get some buckets. But that just goes to show you those offense coordinators, they're just playing chess. They're like, oh shit, like we saw what the Raiders did to the Ravens defense first game of the season. Come on,
yes.
Like, I mean, I know it's in Baltimore, but like at that point, that doesn't matter. It's just like
no.
You can't you're just gonna have to line up and just like hopefully get a good pass rush from Mahomes. But like if you give him any sort of time, dude's just gonna get back there and start slinging it.
I think my man cares. He doesn't care who is on defense.
No.
Going into the Ravens, because it is a matchup to end up watching. So Sammy Watkins, he kind of woke up from the dead a little bit playing for the Ravens. Basically because he had Rashad Bateman who's out, and then Hollywood Brown did do well, but I don't know if he's going to hold up for the whole year. So shout out to Sammy Watkins out there. Lamar Jackson needs some help.
Bro, and I'm telling you, like Lamar Jackson's, it's either going to be teams are going to now be able to figure it out. And he's got that extra element that like you can't figure out, like Michael Vick had. Your teams were able to take away some of Michael Vick's arm, but like you can't take away his legs. Lamar Jackson's got that. But like teams are just going to eventually turn into that, and they're going to make him be a pocket passer, which he's proven he can do, but like not consistently. And you keep that pocket and force him to throw it, and we'll see what happens. But you know who else doesn't care? Jameis Winston.
Yo, Jameis Winston was doing work for less than 200 yards.
Jameis Winston threw for 175 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he had no idea what his trainer was saying after the game. He's like, bro, that should have been our video because Jameis Winston had no idea what the hell anybody was talking about.
What my trainer said is, what my trainer say?
Bro, he had no clue. Like, I've lost my train of thought at work, and he's at work. Like, I've lost my train of thought at work talking. I've probably done it to you. Like, I lost my train of thought, but like, when it's Jameis Winston, if that was any other quarterback, wouldn't have been as funny.
Different. No,
but that's Jameis Winston. That is the homie. That is Jameis Winston. But he threw 5 touchdowns, so he can say whatever he wants. He cannot know whatever he wants. I don't care. That was it, though.
Yeah. What's crazy is you saw them chuck the long ball too, and I was watching it live when Drew Brees said it because Drew Brees wasn't known for like chucking it down the field to the receivers. He kind of was more so. He's Tom Brady-esque. Like they'll kind of use like the short to midfield, but they would get down the field. Jameis said, to hell with this, and would just like launch it up there. I threw 30 interceptions before. What the hell are they going to do?
Yeah. Okay.
So shout out to him with that. Gus Edwards out for the season. Mr. Big Man, Mekhi Becton. Did you hear about the injury? He dislocated his kneecap. Like, yes.
Bro, for someone, wait, in their game on Sunday?
Yes.
No, I missed that. And for someone that big, like,
I know.
Bro, he's like 6'8", like 370.
Huge.
Actually, no, he's more than that. He's probably like 370. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he's out for a minute, they said, which is a huge loss for them over there.
He's so big, bro. He's so big.
Yes. So moving into this upcoming week, shout out Tyrod Taylor again, because he's somebody that clearly is going to be starting for the whole season. I don't know. Okay. So there are dumb organizations, then there are dumb cities with organizations. And I love Houston. Y'all are great. Never have any ill will. But your owners and managers are dumb because what you got going on with John Wall with the money, and then you're just going to pay Deshaun Watson just so he doesn't go other places, and that whole policy and everything. I think y'all just like wasting money over there.
Bro, it's you know what? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not even gonna say it. Nope.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything at all about that. All I'm gonna say is y'all are weird because you don't want the Dolphins or the Eagles or anyone to have them. But then the moment he gets traded, the NFL is ready for him to get traded to like suspend him or something. But they're like, no, we'll just $10 million. You telling me, I'm not going to talk about what he did, but you telling me he don't even got to play and he going to make like $10 million. What?
Yep. Yo, speaking of shout outs, shout out to the Eagles.
Yeah, they won.
Yo.
I'm not confident in them yet. I do like what I saw from Jalen Hurts, though.
Yo, my guy looked confident. And
yes,
big shout out to the boy, Miles Sanders.
He came back.
Speaking of Penn State running backs, if Saquon Barkley is listening to this, Saquon, you should retire now. Yeah, or demand a trade. Just sit out the rest of the season, my guy. Like, you got your money, you got your endorsements, you got the crypto side of things rolling for you. Bro, please for the love of God, retire. Because y'all playing the Redskins in 2 days. I am so nervous about what is going to happen to that man on Thursday night. Yes. Their offensive line, bro, is so bad. And they look competent for, I don't know how many plays they had, but they look competent for like 10% of them. And every time Saquon got the ball, the defense was already 2 yards deep in the backfield.
They were ready, yes.
And he couldn't do anything. Like, I feel it just sucks that Saquon plays for such a bad team and such a bad offensive line. Like,
and not a good quarterback.
Right. And everyone knew that was going to happen because, everyone knew he was going to get drafted that high. But like, I mean, like, what did Penn State fans, what did we do wrong to the football gods to have this happen to our boy? Like,
he deserves so much better.
It's such a shame. Like, I hate it because I'm just like, I mean, all seriousness, I'm just worried. I just know he's going to get hurt again. Like, it's pretty simple. Like, he's going to get hurt, and it just sucks because like we're never going to be able to see and I know never say never, but like we are never going to see what Saquon Barkley can do because the Giants don't know how to put a team around him. Like they put some receivers out there, but like it doesn't matter who you put out there wide receiver. You can put 1998 Randy Moss, you can put 1994 Jerry Rice out there, but like if you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter, bro.
Matter. Look who their leading receiver was, Sterling Shepard. He's not doing that all the way down the field all the time.
And he got that on one play. It's so sad. I feel so bad for Saquon. It's like, get your money, bro. And if this game goes away, I think it's going to go on Thursday night and y'all are going to lose by like 100 points. And you're going to have like 25 carries for negative 10 yards, bro. Just that press conference right after the game at your locker at the podium. I don't care where it is on the field. I'm done, bro. I'm taking my Bitcoin and I'm gone.
Out. So going into that, because you brought up Giants, Redskins / football team, who you got?
Oh, football team. Yeah, 100%, bro. Like I want to pick the Giants. Like I'm gonna watch the game obviously because it's football and it's I'm
gonna watch the game because we got a quarterback starting.
Yeah, whatever. Bro. Oh, shout out to my Steelers though.
We're going to talk about the Washington football team with us having one of our only quarterbacks ever in the history of Old Dominion starting. This is a great moment in history.
I mean, okay, just because Ryan Fitzpatrick is like 60 years old and broke his hip.
I know. Now, I will say congratulations to everyone out there that has Logan Thomas on any team. I promise you, it's a godsend because Taylor Heineke's favorite person to throw to is Logan Thomas. Every game he's played, 2 favorite receivers. Sorry to Terry McLaurin because it's not going to be him all the time. He loves throwing it to Logan Thomas because he don't got to throw far, and he loves Gibson in the backfield. Those are his 2 go-to people that he will go to. But now we can talk about the Steelers because shout out to that. I'll give respect because I thought the Bills were going to do it. That defense came alive too.
Yeah, they did in the second half. Defense, special teams. The defense is going to carry them throughout the entire season, I think. I don't have many expectations for the offense. I think they'll get going. I think Najee Harris is going to get going a little more. The receiver showed up. Chase Claypool was good in the second half. Juju had a couple of big catches. Deontay Johnson had a dope touchdown catch. Roethlisberger didn't make any mistakes. It was solid second half.
Roethlisberger's kind of favorite target, Johnson.
But I love that defense, though, man. TJ Watt, Melvin Ingram, Devin Bush is back. Megan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden's looking a couple years younger. So, yeah. Steelers are going to run away with the AFC North. Calling it right now.
Okay. So I'll bring up 2 things, and we'll get into the next game. So Jalen Hurts, for everyone out there, I've liked Jalen Hurts since college. Like I was telling Steven, thought he was going to win the Heisman at one point. But seeing him now, even when he was behind Carson Wentz, if anyone wants to go through the receipts of my phone, all the hackers out there, feel free. It's going to say Jalen Hurts. I wanted over Carson Wentz since the beginning. My only thing is they played the Falcons, and this is how much confidence I didn't have in the Eagles. One of my friends wanted to bet me $20 that Falcons are going to beat the Eagles, or I can bet the Eagles beat the Falcons. I didn't want to take it. I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. I didn't know what the coach was going to do. I didn't know what the running back, what Miles Sanders would be able to give because I saw the offensive line last year, but they ended up coming through. The Falcons suck, so that's why I got to see them kind of against like the 49ers. And then they play the Chiefs. I'll be at that game. So I want to see what they end up doing for those. But going into next game, Bengals Bears, who you got?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I like that. I like that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase hookup.
They got a connection.
Yeah,
exactly where they left off.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like
Taj Boyd. Sorry, everybody out there. It's legit Joe Mixon or Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and the Bears don't have a good enough offense.
No, and their defense. That's another thing. Matthew Stafford looks happy. His wife looks happy. They all look happy.
Yeah.
Like Cooper Kupp got a quarterback.
It was their first touchdown pass, his first touchdown pass. And they showed Aaron Donald on the sideline, and Donald was like, let's go.
Yes,
I got myself a quarterback.
Yes. Meanwhile, Jared Goff just doing his thing. Don't feel bad, Lions people, because if you're in fantasy, you got TJ Hawkinsmith, who's going to score mad points out there. Jared Goff's just going to throw it to him, but they don't have anything, and that's what sucks. because the Lions are just a place where nobody wants to be.
Nope.
Which is so bad. Meanwhile, in LA, that stadium looks stupid. Like
Fresh,
that
though.
stadium
Fresh,
is
yeah.
clean.
Uh-huh.
And then you got like houses right next to it. But that stadium is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Bengals as well in that one, just because the connection I saw with Burrow and Chase from the get-go, I was like, it's going to be a long day for certain teams. Not every team, certain teams. Texans, Browns.
I'll go Browns in a bounce back win.
Okay.
I know you like your boy Tyrod, but I'm gonna go Browns in a bounce back win.
So I actually have the Browns in this one. Only reason is I totally forgot they have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney.
I forgot about that too.
And that's something that a lot of people need to think about, because that offensive line is decent for the Texans, because you saw Lindsey, Dave Johnson, and Ingram get work out there. That's not happening every game. I don't think that's happening against those two on the line. Yeah, no. So if those two get going and you see any flashes of how they both played in college, it's a wrap. So I have the Browns in that one. I do like Tyrod Taylor, like everyone that's probably heard before. That's who I would use in Madden. But going into Rams Colts.
Rams. I think their offense is gonna be one of the best in the league this year.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford is a gunslinger. He loves throwing that ball, and for him to have, because I think it's Dan Jefferson's out there that you can randomly throw it to, but you have Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. And then Higbee, I think, is their tight end there. So they have a lot that they can work with. So I have the Rams. I just love seeing Matthew Stafford happy. I saw his wife too. She looked happy up there. Like, thank God I'm in somewhere nice weather. And
good for him. Good for him to be finally not in Detroit and having dog shit teams around him. Shout out to Calvin Johnson though.
It sucks because they let him get out, but they didn't let Calvin Johnson get out.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. Good for him though. Good for Matthew Stafford.
Another bounce back game. Bills Dolphins. Who you got?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna
go
with the Bills.
Easy. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Bills, but closer than the experts think.
Yeah. So Bills, I have to see a lot more. Diggs and Allen have to get going. That's the only way the offense is going to go. Zach Moss, he has his things. They don't really have a premier running back there. They kind of just do a running back by whoever is getting hot that day. Defense needs to step up too, because I can promise you those receivers for the Dolphins, if Tua gets everything together, they have a good running back in Gaskin. They can get all those receivers together, and Gesicki is there too. You have Waddle, and you still have Parker. And then you're going to have Fuller towards later in the year. So Miami can be fun. But I have the Bills as well. Two teams you'll always hear me kind of bet on unless they start sucking, the Bills and the Eagles. I'm always just going to end up going with them. Next one, Pats Jets. Which is going to be an interesting game.
I'm going to go with the Jets.
Really? Okay.
I shouldn't do that. But I liked what the Jets did in the second half. I liked they showed some stuff. The Pats looked like, it looked like the first game of the season. They'll come around, but I'm going to pick the Jets.
So I got the Pats. Only reason is as they'll find a way to get Mac Jones going. He was the starter for Alabama for a reason. So I can see them going. They need to figure out who the receivers are they're going to go to, because the tight ends weren't all that alive. They did throw it to Nelson Aguilar a lot, and then they had Jacoby Myers that was there. It seems like they found a running back as well, but defense got to step it up, because 2 years ago, that defense was very good. Last year, it was here and there, but they need to step it up. I got the Pats. Next one, Eagles and 49ers.
I'm going with the Eagles, man. I think I love what Jalen Hurts did. Love what he did on the ground.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a big element that they're not going to use that every game.
No,
they're not, because they're not going to have to.
Yeah.
But I love how confident. Look, I said this going back to the Penn State game real quick. Penn State took care of business against Ball State, and they did what they had to do. I saw people on the message board saying it's Ball State, yada yada yada. You still got to go out and do it. Like I know the Falcons suck, but like you still have to go out and do it. You still got to go out and execute. You still got to go out and drop back and find the receivers and have good timing and do all that stuff. So you still got to go out and do it. So I love the confidence that Jalen Hurts has now. I think Miles Sanders, I told you this is going to be his year to finally break away and become that guy. So I like them to keep rolling.
So I have the Eagles. Hurts, I absolutely love. Obviously, yeah. Hurts, I love what I saw out of him and his running ability. He's not going to be the fastest ever out there at the quarterback position, but he gives enough. And he is another one. You saw Matthew Stafford look happy. Hurts to look happy. Hurts looked very excited to finally have the starting position and not have to worry about whose it is. Sanders looked pretty good. Devontae Smith looked good. Shout out Dallas and Goddard. That's the one. Because Zach Ertz, I don't know what the hell Zach Ertz been doing in training camp and stuff, but
dyeing his hair.
And it was a point where it was Ertz, then Goddard. Last year was like them at the same level. Goddard kind of broke away. He also is built like somebody that's ready for the playoffs in the winter. Zach Ertz, he looked like he's still back in Stanford at the way he is. I need them to get a second receiver though, because I don't trust Rager a lot.
We talked about Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, and they had that connection. And Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith still, I know that Hurts spent his last season at Oklahoma, but they still have that, they still have that little connection going on. So love to see that.
Him after the game with Ridley too.
Yeah. So I think I just like the way, I just like the confidence that he's playing with now that it's his squad. Doesn't have to worry about anybody. I think the Eagles are gonna maybe surprise some people this year. I'm calling it. I'll call it right now. I'll say it. I'm not gonna pick them to go to the Super Bowl, but
don't do that. It won't happen. Raiders, Steelers. This is obvious. Yeah. So we won't spend a lot on this one, but Steelers, Raiders did do good. I can promise you the Steelers are going to find a way. Waller's not going to get all those catches. Minka or somebody's going to do something to make sure that does not happen. So, I'll go back to the Raiders-Ravens game. Ravens, what the hell were y'all doing on the last play of the game for y'all to leave everyone up? And you guys really thought it was either going to be a run. And then I did see him get brushed off the line as well as his other cornerback. But I'm like, damn, have a safety or something back there.
Yeah.
At something like that. So we have against the Panthers. Who you got?
I'll go Saints.
Okay.
I think Panthers have some work to do. I think I think Sam Darnold is still trying to prove himself, but I think the Saints are the better team in general.
Yeah. So only thing I do like about the Panthers, I love what I saw from Christian McCaffrey. He's going to give you that all the time. That is what I thought Saquon would be able to do, if not more. But that damn line, it looks like they don't necessarily want to even block for Saquon, whereas they will give their life in Carolina to make sure Christian McCaffrey does not get injured again. Yeah. So I got the Saints as well.
Bro, I really hope that this is one of those things where like we come back next time and you're like, yo, that Giants offensive line, man, they must have heard you. But no, they got that shit on mute. They're not going to hear me. No. Nope.
So, next one, because Mr. Teddy B came alive and so did
Trevor. Teddy Two Gloves.
Who you got? Broncos, Jags.
Dude, the Jags suck.
They do.
I'm gonna go. First of all, this is the first loss of Trevor Lawrence's regular season career.
At high school, college, anything.
Also, I give Urban Meyer 3 more games and he's gone. He's not going to survive. He's gone. He's not going to be able to do it. I think. Yeah, I give him less than 8 games, and he's gone. But I'm not going to.
I don't like so I have James Robinson in some leagues. I don't like how they're using him. For you to go from having so much involvement in the offense last year to not as much this year, and then you have all those receivers out there. You guys have the weapons in order to succeed. So don't let Trevor Lawrence go by the wayside. That's another one. The same way you guys block for Christian McCaffrey and Patrick Mahomes, y'all need to block that way for Trevor Lawrence. Because if you give him time, he will find places to end up throwing the ball.
And you're not gonna get anybody else like him.
So
So
you're not.
you gotta, yeah, it's just that those situations you hate to see. Like, obviously, I know how it goes. We all know how it goes with the draft. We all know that the best player ends up on the worst team, but it just sucks that those guys end up in such bad situations. And
Yes.
like, I know that they're elite level talents and like they are the number one, number two, number three draft picks for a reason because they are so elite. But like, it's a team game.
Yeah.
Like, you need a team around these guys. Like,
Exactly.
that's like it's not a secret. It's not a secret.
No.
Like, you need to have an offensive line. You need to have everything around them. Again, if you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. That's why, like, again, I'll go back to Penn State. That's why I have so much faith in this team this year because they have a really good offensive line. Not like compared to what they've had before, it's really good. So like if you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter if your quarterback is Trevor Lawrence or Jesus Christ himself. Like it's not going to matter.
No.
Which Trevor Lawrence is Jesus Christ himself, so it's fine.
So next game, battle of some good receivers. I have them both in one of my leagues, but we got the Vikings and the Cardinals. Cardinals look good. Cardinals look good.
Yeah.
Did you see DeAndre Hopkins?
Yep. Turn up, bro.
And Christian Kirk.
I picked them.
Yes. So that's the one that I had. The Vikings, they're more so very fantasy relevant. You know, you're going to get your points from Jefferson, Thielen, and Dalvin Cook. But biggest thing is if you're doing PPR, just get out Adam Thielen every single time. It doesn't matter. Like, they're just going to throw dink and dunks to him. Justin Jefferson will go over the top. But then you have Dalvin Cook. I don't trust them to go far in the playoffs ever, but that's what I got to say for that.
I think the Cardinals remind me a lot of a college team, especially with the way Kyler Murray plays. He still has like that backyard football type of thing. And there's not many quarterbacks in the league who can get away with that. Someone like him, Russell Wilson, can get away with that because of just how elite their arm talent is and how they can just do that. And
that baseball thing helps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Good call. Yeah. But yeah, they remind me of a college team, how they're just like, they have dope receivers and they have a good defense. And I mean, Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Swag, bro. Swag.
He wanted Kyler Murray. He got Kyler Murray. And they're doing work. And they put a team around him too. So shout out to Chandler Jones because my man, he is.
So shout out to Chandler Jones. A shout out to Taylor Lewan too.
He accepted the responsibility
for saying, "Hey, I appreciate you exposing me. I was shit." First of all, shout out to Bussin' with the Boys, their podcast with him and Will Compton. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's part of Barstool Sports. Go check it out. Bussin' with the Boys. It's good. Taylor Lewan and Will Compton. But yeah, Chandler Jones, bro, he was a dog.
He was.
Dog.
He used to play for the Patriots, didn't he?
He did. Yep. Facts.
Yeah. Came back, got the chains off.
Bro, the Jones family is someone I'm not messing with. Because his brother is crazy.
Yeah. I know.
And Jones is balling. He's a dog. Yeah, I'm not messing with that family.
Isn't that where JJ Watt is too?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's another one. Thinking about that line. You don't want to deal with that. I got the Cardinals as well. The next one should be really easy, so we don't have to spend a lot of time. Falcons, Bucks.
Bucks.
Okay.
Bro. Speaking of the Bucks, did you watch their game on Thursday night?
That was a great game.
Bro, did you see Vita Vea?
Yo.
My man took that center. First of all, he has nothing on his arms. He's got no gloves. My man, if you guys don't know who Vita Vea is, go look him up. He's the defensive tackle for the Bucks. My man, yeah, bro, he's husky. He was a running back in high school. And there's highlights of him chasing dudes down from like 20 yards back. Look, he's looking like DK Metcalf. He took the center or the guard and pushed him back about 6 or 7 yards and just manhandled him. Unbelievable.
Cowboys, Chargers.
I'm going Cowboys. I picked them to win against the Bucks. I was close. Once Tom Brady got the ball back with that much time left, I knew it was a wrap.
Yeah, you can't give Tom Brady any time on that clock.
Yeah, it's just no. But
Dak does look good though.
Yeah, 50. He had 53 pass attempts, bro. That's a lot for the first game of the season for him.
Yeah.
Give him an ice bath afterwards. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the boys.
That's probably my best pick I've ever made in the history of my NFL thoughts when I said that Dak Prescott would be something. I know it was going to be like this, but I'm happy that what he's doing. Titans Seahawks.
I'm going to go Seahawks.
So I got the Seahawks as well. The other big thing with that is Russell Wilson was looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like him and Tyler Lockett were looking very good together.
Combo. Again, that's one of those things coming from Seattle, going to Indy. You know, I know it's not the other side of the country, but it's still traveling that far. And the Colts defense is like they're solid. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Russell Wilson had time. Yeah. He was launching it down the field too.
He really was, like bombs everywhere. Yeah. Titans, they got to step it up. I know there's a lot of pressure on them. Julio didn't get a lot of touches. AJ Brown's still getting hit, so I'll have to figure that out. Chiefs, Ravens.
Chiefs by 100.
Yeah. So
I think I'm gonna go Mahomes over 500 yards.
I honestly, it's night and they're playing because I remember last time it was Chiefs Ravens. Those matchups are always good from the quarterback perspective, not from the full game perspective. But I got the Chiefs too. Bro,
you said it without Marcus Peters. We talked about it. Without Marcus Peters, bro, they have no one to like get physical with Tyreek Hill off the line. They have no one to even look at.
Damn, Travis Kelce. About Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that's over.
I mean, like all you do is watch the tape of the Raiders game. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is got this. All right, turn
check.
We good.
Check.
So next one, Lions Packers.
Packers.
So I have the Packers.
They look like shit, but I think a bounce back game.
He might have to cut his hair because he just don't even seem like he want to be there at the rate he was just playing. But those two will get it together. I don't see Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers being that bad every single week. And you're playing the Lions. Okay. Yeah. So they'll come alive. Easy. So that's everything with that. What you got for everyone?
Yo, sad day in the comedy world. Norm Mcdonald passed away at the age of, I think, 61. I'm a big comedy guy. He's one of those guys who had very, very like raw. I won't even say dry humor. It was just like sometimes dark, but like raw. You had to understand it. He was in a bunch of Adam Sandler movies. That's how I started to follow along with him. But yeah, died of cancer today, age 61. So big loss in the comedy world.
Damn. So I was gonna end it with a joke. Actually, I'm gonna still end it with a joke because shout out to the kid today. So I help coach and teach T-ball at times. And one of the kids was like, what are we gonna do today? I was like, I'll tell you guys in a second. Can we play Fireball? And in my head, I'm like, I'm not drinking Fireball. And that's the first thing that came to mind.
That's what that would have been. I would have slapped that kid. I was like, what are you talking about? Get that out of your head. No, sir.
That's not what we're doing today. Mm-hmm. But shout out to everyone that's been involved in like the cryptocurrency market. This is starting to become bigger the time of the year. A lot of people are starting to end up talking about them. But make sure you guys watch football this weekend, whether it's college football, high school football, NFL. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be good regardless of what you end up watching. Just probably don't watch the Jaguars or the Falcons. Other than that, y'all are going to have a good weekend, whatever you do. And watch Taylor Heineke win or lose. Shout out to ODU. So we'll have some guests on later this month, but for right now, we out.
Peace.